What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another team selection video on Fantasy Football Scout. The Game Week 33 deadline is not too far away. By the time this video goes out, there'll probably only be about 5 or 6 hours left. So we're going to get talking about how Game Week 32 went, and then also, more importantly, find out what the transfer moves, the captaincy, and all that good stuff is from Gianni for next week. How are you feeling ahead of another Friday deadline?
Yeah, I don't love the Friday deadlines, especially when you've got a busy day planned. And I'm not going to be online for like most of the day. So I kind of need to do loads of research now. And then an hour before the deadline, I'll log on, get all the injury news. And I've got what I'm going to do based on scenario 1, scenario 2, scenario 3. So then I can just quickly make my transfers. But Andy, I will not be making my transfers on the app on the mobile phone. That is bad luck for me and just isn't something that I like doing. I don't like the functionality. So I'll have my laptop on the go in London. I'll be streaming off my phone to make sure I'm on my laptop making transfers for good luck.
Nice, I like it. Yeah, I mean, it's just we're just in that. We've been talking about it for weeks. We're just in that annoying period where there's like a blank, and then when's the next blank? When's the next double? There's so many potential injuries as well, and obviously. We are, by the time this goes out, not all the press conferences would have happened. So we're going to talk through that as we go because there's some decisions, obviously, Gianni's going to talk about. Very similar position to me, I think, where we are waiting to find out what the hell is going on with those players, whether they're injured, how long it is. And all that good stuff, which we'll come on to in just a second. We have partnered with FanTeam. If you haven't already checked them out, there is a link in the description below. Every week they have a weekly monster event, right? And you just have to pick a team like for FPL, but it's just for 1 week. It is 18 plus, it is gambling, so you should be gamble aware. There's a link to that in the description below. But for this week, it's 10,000 euros up for grabs in prizes for the Game Week 33 Weekly Monster, and it's €2 entry. So fairly cheap entry and potential to win a lot. Just put your FPL knowledge to the test. If you want to try it out, link in the description below. All right, let's do Game Week 32 first, because that was quite good. Yeah. 80 points with a 4-point hit, so 76 points total, which was nice. It was nearly a 100k green arrow for you. I didn't work it out exactly, but it was around 100k, I think. And most of your you kind of had a similar situation to me. Some of the big hitters didn't do well. Jota, also, I guess Jota's not a big hitter, but you know what I mean. Fernandez as well. I know Salah blanked too, even though you don't own him. But everyone else just kind of chipped in all round. Decent read, right?
Yeah, no, it was nice. I was annoyed I put Veltman as third sub. I just didn't expect the Brighton clean sheet. I guess.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't know. No one could have predicted that. No one could have predicted the Super League as well coming out of nowhere, right? So who knows what the players were feeling like.
It's a weird one. For once, FPL wasn't my concern. It wasn't my priority. You know, I was seeing the Monday, the Tuesday results. I was watching the games. It was just a little bit meh. So, you know, it wasn't my number one focus. I was concerned about the future of football in this country. So FPL took a back seat. I could have 50 points this week and I wouldn't really care. But, you know, I'm happy with the 80. And yeah, it was a steady week. You know, Lloris, I really wanted one clean sheet out of Lloris. Southampton obviously started well, but didn't look like scoring second half. Trent conceding late was annoying. He was on for a big haul there, but still, he's delivering every week for me. 8 points is lovely. Great. Even when Lingard doesn't score in open play, he takes a penalty out of nowhere and scores. Ian Atshow could have had a first half hat trick last night. That was good. And you know, Watkins' points are ticking along nicely. Son got a little bit not lucky, but having the penalty helped. He's one I'm not overly crazy on moving forward, and I might be selling this week. And that's not because I don't like Son's fixtures, because I do. I just, given the choice, I'm thinking Gareth Bale over Son, and it's a bit of a differential there as well. But yeah, I mean, a good week. Alonso, I think this could be the last week he plays for me. I might hold him for the Fulham fixture, but I don't expect him to start this week.
Yeah, we'll bring up the team. So I've got your team before you make any transfers, because obviously nothing's locked in, like you said before. The press conferences anyway, but I kind of feel the same with Alonso. Like, I've looked at the fixtures, so it's like it's West Ham, then it's Champions League, then it's Fulham, Champions League, and I think it's Man City in the league then. So you got to feel like Chilwell plays 4 of them, and the one he won't play is the one in the middle against Fulham. That's kind of how I'm reading it. You thinking the same?
I am, Andy, and I would say we're going to be pretty accurate on that. Like, let's be frank, with the Chilwell minutes, we've absolutely called it in recent weeks, right? We said he'd play both games against Porto. We said he'd play against Man City in the FA Cup. We said Alonso would play 2 of the 3 Premier League games, which he has done. It's pretty predictable. And I feel like I could be stung by this, but I don't think Alonso plays against West Ham. Chilwell hasn't played since that Sunday against Man City. So he needs to
that was my thinking too.
Yeah, and then the Fulham game is wedged between two Champions League fixtures against Real Madrid, which are massive, and you just don't play Alonso against Real Madrid. He cannot defend. And then you go Man City in the league again. It's another Chilwell fixture. So unless Emerson comes in for the Fulham game, I can't see Chilwell playing it. I think Alonso does. Is he worth holding just for that one game? Probably not. It just depends if you've got other fires to put out, which we may well do.
Yeah, I mean, for you, you've at least got Luca Dean on the bench. So Arsenal's not necessarily the greatest fixture, but you have got, like some people, and I include myself in this, have got no bench and they've got Alonso playing. And obviously, if he misses out, then, straight away you're down to 10. So you've at least got Luca Dean on the bench. So you're not, I mean, to be honest, I think your team looks quite good this week. I know, obviously, West Ham is a potential, Alonso's a potential problem, and we're waiting to hear news on Jota. And obviously, and to be fair, we're also waiting to hear news on Rafinha and also Lingard, who's not flagged. So I guess, we are waiting for a bit of news. But if they were all fit, you'd be fine. But obviously, we're hearing rumours that Jota, well, there's no rumours, he wasn't pictured in training. Now, that doesn't always mean that a player's injured, but the rumours are starting to come around that he might be missing a game or two. Again, wait till Klopp's press conference to find this out for sure if you're watching this video before. But let's say he is out. What's the plan in general this week? What are the couple of plans you're looking at?
Yeah, it's a really tough one. I think if those guys are injured, if I think Rafinha and or Jota are out, then it's going to involve a transfer or two. But the current, I'm really keen to get Salah in and captain him, Andy. At the moment, you'll see I've got the armband on Trent, and I don't think that's a bad call at all. But I really want Salah in my team long term. Now, to get Salah in, I need to take a 4-point hit. So that could be Bruno out and then Alonso downgrade to a 4.5. Sure, that's a possibility. But I like Fernandes for this Leeds fixture. I don't want Fernandes moving forward, but knowing he's had a week off, knowing it's Leeds, and I know Leeds have been better defensively of late, but I still like the fixture, and his ownership is scary. Fernandes going without him. But, given the choice, if I was on a wild card, it'd be Salah all day long. But I just look at the fixtures with Spurs and go, okay, because they don't have a game week, does it make sense to ship Son on, bring Salah in for Son? That does mean I need a little bit more surgery. But that's a move I could make if Jota and or Rafinha are out to get 11 men on. So I could move Son on. I could move Son on. And then when I bring a Spurs player back for Fernandes next week for that Sheffield United fixture, I bring Bale back instead of Son. Given the choice out of Bale and Son, I want Bale.
What makes you think that? Because, I mean, I know he started, right? And obviously Ryan Mason kind of talked him up. So, I mean, I think most people were... I was expecting him to start that Southampton game. Not before Mourinho went, but once he was gone and Ryan Mason started talking, I got it. But obviously Kane was missing. So if Kane comes back, Son obviously goes to the left. So there's only one spot on the right. Lucas Moura probably has to keep starting, I think. He's been so good. Not necessarily on the right. He could play more central. But do you think it's worth swapping Son to... Essentially, you're doing a long-term move of Son to Bale. Would you be confident that he'd have enough minutes?
Yeah, absolutely. Andy, he's going to start every Premier League game between now and the end of the season. There's no cup games other than the final this weekend. Yeah. He's got a week off. Ryan Mason is a Bale fanboy. Don't forget, they played in the same team. And he probably had Bale posters on his bedroom wall. Bale was the GOAT, right? He was Harry Kane in this Spurs team, and Mason was a young boy looking up to him. He played with 6 of the current team, Bale obviously one of them. I just think, look, Bale is absolutely nailed in that 11. So is Son, so is Kane. It might mean Lucas drops out and he plays with Celso and Ndombele a little bit higher at the pitch, or if Lucas plays, he plays centrally. But given the choice between Bale and Son, and there probably isn't much in it, I just prefer Bale for his explosiveness, the fact that he doesn't know what he's doing next season, so he is playing effectively for a move or a contract. And just Son, in the last few months, hasn't looked quite the same in front of goal. And I just think Bale's a little bit more explosive. Bale got man of the match for Sky. I mean, admittedly, Chris Coleman gave man of the match to Bale. But I just, watching the game, given the choice, he's a little bit cheaper. I think he's 9.1. His ownership is way lower. And in my mini league, everyone's got Son. It's just a nice little differential. I don't think there's much in it, but I do prefer Bale.
Okay, interested. All right, fair enough. Yeah, I think the one thing I would like to see, which I guess you don't have to make the move before you see it, is if Kane was back for the final, and he still plays Bale, then that would make me think Bale's probably just going to keep starting because You don't play if you're not sure about Bale. You don't play him against Man City in a cup final, do you? You just leave him on the bench to come on. So yeah, okay, that'll be interesting. It will be a big differential because there will be people like me that are not afraid, but just don't want to make the Son move. Right? You just don't want to do Son to Bale.
Yeah, and at your rank, like I probably wouldn't suggest going Bale, but for me, it's just a little bit of a calculated risk. Also, Annie, just one final point on Bale. December 2018, Mourinho gets sacked from United.
Oh
Pogba,
yeah,
who
I
was
saw this.
frozen out, he's frozen out, and he comes back into the team. Pogba, from December 2018 till end of January, I think it was, went on like an 8 or 10 week unbelievable FPL run. And I just feel like, I mean, Bale could be that player. Yes, he was getting some minutes under Mourinho, but he was pretty much frozen out at the end. He wasn't ever given more than 60, 70 minutes. He was never played twice a week, even though he felt like he could, and he did for Wales. I just think he's going to come in and bang. I really do.
Yeah, I do. I mean, obviously, we saw what he can do against Palace and Burnley, so I definitely like him as an option. I guess just with all the blanks and doubles, I'm just wary of moving around. But if you want Salah, so you know the other screenshot you sent me, was that including the Salah move?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so
yeah.
will I bring that up so you talk us through it? Because obviously it's a lot of transfers to get to Salah. So this would be the team. Salah's in. Trent's got. Sorry, not Trent's gone. Son has gone, but also Jota's gone as well for Smith Rowe. So what are the actual transfers for this, and how many hits is it?
So this is based on Jota being injured, right? Jota being injured, me thinking Alonso isn't going to start, and potentially Raf being injured, right? So this gets me. This is an 8-point hit. So Son goes out to Salah. Jota comes out for Smith Rowe, an enabler, but one that I think is going to get minutes and got some nice fixtures. And then I don't have a transfer. I don't have a goalkeeper this week. My goalkeepers are Hugo Lloris and Areola. So this would allow me an 11th player and then some options on the bench too. So Sanchez comes in. His fixtures rotate quite nicely with Areola. Yes, I'm losing Lloris, who's got good fixtures, but Sanchez and Areola, as I said, they rotate well. So looking at this team, my bench would be, yes, Kane. Yes, maybe Rafinha. And I think Alonso's not going to play. But then I look at the other guys and think they're probably all going to start. They're all start. I think Ricardo comes in and starts now, knowing he had a rest. He's had a knock. So that gives me an 11. Yes, it's an 8-point hit, but there's the whole thing. In a blank game week, if you take a 4-point hit and they're playing, it's effectively a 2-point hit. Now, I don't mind that move if it's improving your squad going forward. Now, I feel like these moves are improving my squad going forward. It then means next week I'm kind of booking in a transfer because I know I want Bale. If Bale isn't a starter for whatever reason in the cup final, and I go, I want Son, I bring him back, and Fernandes goes out.
Okay.
So because of my free hit, Andy, I'm happy selling Fernandes. If Man United do double in 35, I'm getting their nice fixtures with Bruno back in anyway for my free hit. And it just means later on the season, I don't have them for the final 2 weeks. But, with their Europa League, I think they probably beat Roma. Oh, that hurts me to say it. But I feel like there's going to be a rest in there in the Premier League for Bruno because he's going to play 90 against Roma twice. And I think Ollie will go top 4 sewn up. We're not going to win the league. I think Bruno misses one Premier League game between now and the end of the season anyway. He's not firing massively. So, I'd much rather a Bale or a Son than a Bruno.
Yeah, so I actually tweeted about, I was talking about Greenwood, but obviously the same applies to Bruno Fernandes. So, and I think I've been saying this on my own videos, this part of the season is going to get tricky for those that have free hit and those that don't, because obviously you're making a move based on the fact you have it, whereas someone else wouldn't do that move. So if I can find it here, Man United's fixtures are, this includes Europa League. So it's Leeds this week, then it's Europa League, then it's Liverpool on only 2 days rest. Then it's Europa League again. So of the next 4 fixtures for Man United, 2 of them are Roma. And then you would be free hitting, so you could get Bruno back. And now this is obviously if there's a double in 35. And if that double happens, then they would probably blank in 36. So essentially, you'd only actually need Bruno for Leeds, which you'll have anyway. And then you'll get rid of him for Liverpool, which isn't even a good fixture. So I quite like that move, to be honest. I mean, an 8-point hit is big, but you're getting rid of a keeper that's not playing. You're getting rid of Jota, who might not start. And Son, who's not playing, and you get Salah, who one of the best captains this week, and you captain him, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I wouldn't be taking a hit for someone that I wasn't bringing. I Salah, if I wasn't an 8, if I wasn't bringing him into captaining. But this is if Jota is injured and if Rafinha is doubtful. Now I've just checked Leeds live, and the quote.
I know, I'm just seeing. I was just about to say that to you. So we're recording live. Well, we're not obviously live, but we are recording, and we're not going to stop this. But go on. What's the quote about Rafinha?
Yeah, I mean, with Rafinha, we're controlling his evolution on a daily basis, and up until now, he hasn't recovered sufficiently to be able to train again. doesn't look great, does it?
No. Oh yeah, not recovered sufficient. Oh geez, I read that wrong. I read it as he has. Okay, so he's not going to play. So Rafinha's not going to play this week.
Yeah.
So let's go. Oh my god, this is where we should stop and do a tape. I'm going to put you on the spot, right? So how much are you worried now about Rafinha? Let's say Jota's out as well. Are you getting rid of both this week? And is Salah still coming in?
So if Jota, so what we've got on screen with that 8-point hit still works for Rafinha being out, right? My subs are Kane, Rafinha, and then I start Alonso, but I don't expect him to play. So I've still got 11 out with these moves. Now, because of Rafinha's remaining fixtures, I want him for that end of season run-in. So I'm happy to keep him, but it does mean it puts more pressure on the Jota news. It means I cannot go into this game week with a Jota injured and in my squad if I'm going to get 11 out. So yeah, the -8 still works for Rafinha being flagged, and it doesn't look promising for him starting, does it? I mean, the game is Sunday, so he's got one extra day. But yeah, it's not looking great.
Yeah, I just feel like I've just seen a comment actually from I think it's FPL Heskebo, who just said this is starting to feel like Grealish 2.0 because Bielsa's been quite open about injuries and how long a player's going to be out for and stuff like that. But the fact that he's not even training yet, you're right though, it's annoying because he's cheap and you want him for that end of season run that includes Burnley, Southampton, West Brom. Yeah, I guess if you can take an 8-point hit, because you would so basically you'd have Watkins, Iheanacho, Smith Rowe, Salah, Fernandes, Lingard, obviously hoping he's fit. Trent, Pereira, Alonso, Veltman. Yeah, so that would be your 10. I still like it then. You get to bench Rafinha, you don't have to worry about it. Because I think Smith Rowe will probably start. And Everton's a good game.
I mean, Smith Rowe's had some games out recently, but always through injury. When he is fit, he tends to start. He doesn't always play 90, but you look at the games against Shakhtar. I think he started both of them. I think he played 90 against Fulham last time out. Odegaard as well is flagged, which means there is only a natural number 10 replacement there in Smith Rowe. And if Odegaard is back and plays, then Smith Rowe often goes out wide anyway. Interestingly enough, Arsenal finished the game against Fulham with a back five. They had Pepe and Saka as wing backs, and they actually started looking like they were going to score. So it's going to be interesting to see their lineup. But I like Smith Rowe. I mean, at 4.2, arguably, he's the cheapest player in the game that offers goal threat in the midfield and forward positions. So I don't mind that. And then in future weeks, he's a bench option.
Yeah. Plus, you're taking a lot of money out of your team to spend on the 11 as well. So it's not even as a restructuring type move. It's not that bad at all. Look, I guess there's not too much point in talking too many more about the transfers because we are still waiting for press conferences, but it was good to get that Rafinha news while we're recording live, just to kind of emphasise what you would be doing. If you bring Salah in, which to be honest, I think you're going to do, aren't you? At this point, I can just tell. It's one of those moves where you start thinking about it, but you secretly it's definitely going to happen. You'll have Fernandes and Salah. I would say arguably the two standout captains, but Iheanacho and Vardy have got to be right up there as well because Crystal Palace are really bad. And like you said, Iheanacho, not even an exaggeration to say he should have had a first half hat trick. Over the course of the game, definitely had enough chances. I mean, Vardy and Maddison should have probably had a few more as well. So you've got Salah, Fernandes, Iheanacho with these transfers. I mean, you got Watkins against West Brom as well, I guess. Yeah. Who's the captain?
Yeah, I mean, it's Salah all day long. Like, I like Iheanacho as an option, and I think Palace are on the beach. Roy's going to leave, 14 players out of contract. Could have had the first half hat trick, but sometimes Leicester just don't turn up. We saw against West Ham a few weeks ago. They can be hot and cold, which is strange because when they're hot, they're really good. And if Iheanacho, what is it about left-footed players not being able to kick with their right? If Iheanacho had a right foot, he gets a first half hat trick. And his left is an absolute wand, as left-footed players always are, right? They've got brilliant left foots and they're over-reliant. But yeah, I mean, Iheanacho is a very good option, but I prefer Salah. I know Newcastle have been a little bit more solid, but Salah always gets big chances. He's now had his rest. Also, I'm guessing Salah, we saw Fofana taken off because of Ramadan, right? Rogers was like, he's not eating all day. Get that. The early kickoff's quite nice for Salah. Like he's actually able to play a game and probably not on an empty stomach because he's in the early kickoff 12:30 Saturday. Again, that helps. So you have to consider these things, right? I completely forgot 3 of Chelsea players the other day and an evening kickoff were all fasting, and I was thinking, yeah, that must be so tricky. So I like Salah in that early fixture. I think he's due. And Liverpool, so much of an incentive now. They need top 4. We're used to them playing Champions League football at this point in the season. We're used to them not having a week on the training ground, not having a rest. They're going into every Premier League game now with a bit of a rest, with a full week of training. if you don't own Trent, you don't own Salah. These are guys I feel like you need to get in.
Yeah, I'm basically the same. Like, I do like Ian actually. Like, I'm not like sitting on the, oh well, can he keep this up? Like, I just don't. I think he definitely can. I think the amount of shots he's getting, the partnership with Vardy, and I think Maddison being back is also huge as well, because he's the type of player that can unlock defenses if needs be. But I just like Salah would have to have a really bad fixture for me just not to go for him over him. And plus, he's a midfielder as well, right? He's also on penalties, etc., etc. And like you said, he had that rest. There is no way Salah doesn't start this game, right? Absolutely no way. So, yeah, I like that pick. I think unless there's anything else you want to add, I think we might leave it there.
No, all good. I know it's an 8-point hit, and I've been taking a huge amount of hits recently, but it has been working in recent weeks. The players I've been bringing in, the likes of Trent, the likes of Iheanacho, I brought these guys in on hits in the last couple. It's kind of paid off. I feel like I'm playing a little bit of catch up with those that had the wild card, but I hope with the free hit in the bank to be able to use that on a big double that I hope we get. Should be a good end of the season. And yeah, with the 8-point hit this week, I'm almost guaranteed to get 11 out with the bench of Kane, Rafinha, and then maybe Alonso. So yeah, it should be a good week. It's just high risk with these hits, which I don't do in years gone by. I take 4 or 5 a season, but it's just a slightly different this year, isn't it? And I'm happy to go a little bit more gung ho.
Yeah, and like I said, you're taking a -8, but you're taking out players that aren't going to start. You're also restructuring a bit. You're taking money out of your goalkeeper. You're taking money out of one of your players on the bench. I mean, next week, if Rafinha's still out and Smith Rowe, he's a bit like Fernandes and Greenwood. He's also got in a team that's got very short turnarounds around Europa League. So at that point, maybe you'll be stuck. But I mean, not stuck, but you might have to make another move is what I'm trying to say with those. Yeah. How much money will you have in the bank if you do this?
Not much.
Okay.
Pretty much I've got 5.2 with these moves on screen. I've got 5.2 million to spend on a goalkeeper. So I could go up as high as Mendy. At the moment, I've got Sanchez in. Mendy, I do think will play all the remaining Premier League games. He is still Chelsea's number one. But actually, I prefer the idea of saving a bit of money and flip-flop between Sanchez and Areola.
Yeah, and plus it leaves you a bit more flexible if you do need to make a move next week. And, maybe it will be Fernandes to Bale and then use that money to upgrade one of the others.
I think it will be.
Yeah, we will find out next week. Obviously, there's still a bit more info to come from press conferences. Obviously, I guess if Jota was... what if Jota was past fit? Just really quickly.
Yeah, if Jota's past fit, then I'd probably sell Bruno to Salah and then sell Alonso for a 4-point hit. I need to take a 4-point hit to get Salah in. But yeah, if Jota's fit, you can't sell the guy. I mean, his fixtures are too good.
Yeah, okay, cool. We'll leave it on that note. Do give it a like if you enjoy it and hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. Gianni, thank you for joining me from a hotel room. I hope you enjoy your day in London.
Thank you, mate. Looking forward to it. And yeah, catch up next week.
Will do, definitely. Hit that like button, hit subscribe. Good luck with your transfers and stuff this week. We'll be back with team news later this afternoon as well. So I will see you then. Otherwise, good luck this week and we'll catch you later.